Yeah, I've had a new way of filming videos, and just kind of
Okay.
made me refine my joy for making YouTube videos, I guess.
That's pretty sweet. That's pretty sweet. Well, I mean, before we get ahead of ourselves, let me count us down. Three, two, one, and we're live. Jake, welcome to Digital Joyride, man.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Really, really happy to have you on. I'm pretty sure everybody in the community is really, really stoked to get a little bit of behind the scenes of what's going on with Nightspeeds these days. And it's nice not to have to do something for an like we're doing this for an audience, but really it's for like the other side of the same audience, if that makes sense. It's I don't know. We've all watched podcasts. We all like listening to people.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I mean, start us off where you grew up. You're from Denmark, and how the environment influenced skating in your life.
Well, yeah, I grew up in Denmark, a little town, a tiny bit outside of Copenhagen. So I've always had like the capital to go to pretty easily. There was a lot of influence on my skateboarding coming from there, but obviously it all started with video games, and also the reason why we're talking right now. So I feel like that's a huge part of my life.
That's good.
Yeah, I
Uh,
don't really know what to go with
so
that.
how much skating was happening around in real life when you were growing up?
Well, to be honest, I I was at a birthday party when I first like discovered
Yeah, that's
skateboarding.
cool.
We were playing, I think, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3, which is a great game because you all have 2 minutes and then you pass the controller on.
Yeah,
And
I
I
miss
just remember what?
I miss those days.
Yeah, I mean, I really like the new reboot there, but nonetheless, like I was asking my friend a couple days after, like, what game were we playing? That was really fun with the skateboarding and all that, and he just said something with Tony Hawk. So I got Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4, I think, and figured
Okay.
out that like someone from Copenhagen, like in my country, was actually in the game, Rune Cliffberg.
Wow.
So yeah, and if you fall sometimes with Rune in that game, he says something in Danish. So I felt a big connection to that game, and once you beat the game and you beat the pro challenges, you unlock the video parts from these pros. I realized like, okay, I mean, it is an arcade game and there's some crazy stuff going on gameplay wise, but some of it is actually pretty close to what was happening in those videos. So I think that's when I really like, all right, I don't just enjoy the skateboarding that's in the game here. I actually probably also gonna enjoy it in real life.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally get that. I remember, like, I honestly don't remember my first skate video. There's just so long ago, it's too many. But just I guess every skater has that like self challenge in them. And so when you see something like that and then you go try and you're like, wow, they made it look so easy. What the hell's going on? And
Yeah.
and then you find out they did it 87 times before they got it. And you're like, oh, I can do it 87 times. So that definitely resonates, right? Who were the biggest? I guess was that a big influential skater in your life because
Well,
of close to home?
yeah, I think so. I mean, just seeing like you could see the bios on all the skaters, and then you see someone actually being from Copenhagen, Denmark. That was like, and then I found out what videos Rune was in, and then I saw the rest of the Flip team in Sorry, Really Sorry, and all those, and I really enjoyed Jamie Thomas. Figured out that he had like a skateboard company. I started watching the Zero videos. I think that was like my first actual video I saw that was Dying to Live.
Wow.
Yeah, and I just remember, watching John Rattray's part on repeat, and Chris Cole and Jamie Thomas, and there's definitely a lot of inspiration coming from like the Zero camp, even though like I am more like a tech creative skater, but I wish I could do stuff like that.
Yeah, no, I know you love Zero just from your Skate One videos. You love to rep Zero, and they're a wicked company to rep. So
Yeah.
that's really cool, man. That's really cool that it was introduced as a video game in your life first, and then you were like, hey, let's go do this stuff. this is something that's really interesting. So was it you? Was it you and some friends? Was there already a scene?
I think I pretty much skated like alone in front of my house for like 2 years.
Yeah.
Pretty much with like no influence of others. I didn't even know there were other skaters in my town. I
Wow.
think I skated a few times with the kid who actually held the birthday party.
Okay.
Because he kind of also wanted to get in on skating, but he didn't take that serious. And I kind of just wanted to progress on my own. I felt like it was a bit embarrassing to be trying, to do a kickflip for 3 hours. So I would just like hide away and work on that myself.
I get that. I totally get that.
But then, later on, I found out that actually, like in Denmark, I guess the school system is a bit different than other places. But we basically have the primary school, which is from grade 0 to 9.
Okay.
And the primary school I went to, I found out like after I had completed all that part of my life, I found out that was pretty much the place where skateboarding in Denmark originated.
Come on, that's amazing.
Yeah, and then I found out like that my hometown used to be like a big skate city. Like we had these places where you can go after school, like youth clubs. They would have like skate parks, and my hometown was kind of famous for that. And we had a sports store in the city that sold skate equipment and stuff. But when I came into skateboarding, there was none of that. I didn't see anyone skating around in my school, but apparently this was like, the home ground of skateboarding in Denmark. So I think back on that, and that's kind of a funny coincidence. Just me, instead of skating my school, I would skate outside in front of my house for like 3 hours a day.
That's ironic.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. That's so cool, man. So you do a lot of traveling.
I've been fortunate this year.
Dude. I hope even more fortune to you. I'm so glad when people get to go out and just like enjoy life and take in life is what it is. It's when you get away from home, you get to tap into this whole other side and untap from a completely other side. And it really like, it brings you home again. And so I wanted to ask do you find skating in other cities kind of like revamps you or gives you ideas to bring back home? Or does it just get you more excited to do more traveling and skating?
Well, I just to like get all of them together, I think a little bit of everything.
Okay.
So, with my job at the skate park, I was fortunate enough to go on a skate trip to Berlin with a lot of our kids there and show them street skating. Yeah, and basically once you're like out skating in another country and like we're not getting back to this spot soon, I think it's a little more like you really got to go for it this time. If you've had the idea for a couple of weeks, now you're here, you got to do it, you can't go home. So I like that aspect more than in your hometown, like I'll just come back next week. I never thought about
that part of it. It was like do it or go big or go home, and that's that must make a lot of things happen because people really want to do it while they're there.
Yeah, and I think that's why. After primary school, I did like the Danish gymnasium, which is like 3 grades, I think 10, 11, 12. And after that, I didn't really know what to do with my life. So I worked on a factory for a year. And then after that, I saved up some money. So I went to Barcelona, like, I don't know, 6 times that year.
Wow.
And there's a lot of stuff I learned on those trips, just being alone in Barcelona, where I think it kind of pushed me to learn those things because I was alone there. I was like skating parallel and you're trying a new manual trick. It's like, you got to get this because I might not be here next month. Like, this is not my home ground. And the same thing happened with like those famous long mellow hoppers. A lot of people have killed those. I think most people skate the 16, but when I went there, I hadn't seen anyone skate that place. And a little further away, I think there's a 19 or 21. And I randomly decided to skate that. And I'm not really good at backside tricks, but I ended up getting a backside 50. I would never have done that in Denmark.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that was a pretty fun one for myself.
For sure. The feeling must have been crazy.
Yeah, it was, and it is just a mellow down ledge, you
Doesn't
could say,
matter,
but
man.
but
It
still,
doesn't
like that was
matter.
big for me.
That's really cool, man. I get that. I get locking in a trick for the first time and just like, you're not even there when it's happening. It's when you're rolling away from the landing, you look back and you're like, holy shit.
Yeah, and that's the best feeling in the world.
Absolutely. Amen to that. So I want to roll us back. You're a skate instructor, which I think is fucking so cool. Um, I mean, you're surrounded by skating day and night. And so you obviously have this affinity for it that is unmatched by anything else that has come in your life. It's bounced off. And so what's it like teaching kids, and what's it like being a role model?
It's weird. But I do like the fact that, I think back to where I was at with like where the kids are now, and it's like I didn't have that mentor, like I didn't have that older skater in my city that could kind of teach me. I remember meeting one person and I was like asking him to teach me how to do a kickflip, and he couldn't do it. So
Okay.
I'm just happy I can like give some of, all the struggles I've had, I can kind of maybe shortcut them a little bit and make them a bit more hyped on skateboarding if they land stuff sooner. But otherwise, it's basically just that we try to have fun together. It's not like you gotta learn this before that date. We are basically just like a pretty chill crew, and whatever happens, happens. And if it's a bad skate day, we'll just do something different and have fun with it.
There's always tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the beautiful part about skating, is there's definitely always tomorrow. So what made you decide that you wanted to be a skate instructor? What opportunity opened up to you that allowed that?
Well, I thought that everyone who worked at a skate park in Denmark was basically voluntary,
Oh,
but I found out that like we had one skate park in Denmark where I think people are getting an actual salary, and my friend happened to move to that city, so I would visit him like every weekend for a while. There's a lot of travel time, so I would stay there, and he
absolutely.
ended up getting a job there at the skate park when it actually was a voluntary thing, but then it turned into like a thing where we could get paid and make some okay money, I would say. And I just moved to the city. I got the job within like 2 weeks or something, and I've been happy working there ever since.
That's beautiful, man. That's really nice. Um, I mean, I watch your IRL videos and I really enjoy those too, because um, we're gonna get into the video game history in a second here, but I mean, one of the things that dove me even deeper into things like XL and Session was IRL skating, and just the influence of real skate videos and what people are coming up with these days. And
Yeah.
like, you can't say, like, when somebody does something in a video game, you can't even say it's unrealistic anymore, because the things that are being done are just out of this world, right? And it's beautiful to celebrate this moment in time. We've never seen so much progress, like, ever. So Tony Hawk 4, what happens after Tony Hawk 4? Do you go back to Tony Hawk 1? Do you look for older games, or what was after that? Probably Skate. Or maybe
Yeah, I think I was keeping up with like the annual Tony Hawk releases after Pro Skater 4, Underground 2. I
yeah.
think I skipped American Wasteland, but then I also went a bit back in time, and I was a big fan of the Tony Hawk games at that point. Like I
Yeah.
really enjoyed when they went in a more realistic direction. That's why I've made so many Proving Ground videos, because I truly love that game, even though it is kind of garbage.
Well, to
But
today's standards, but back then it was like just before Skate, right? And so it was good.
yeah, I think Proving Ground and Skate released within like a month of each other. So, they couldn't have had any influence on each other, but
Right.
just the fact that Proving Ground had like you could film, you could edit videos up to 1 minute, and
Oh
it,
wow.
it was so it was so crazy for me. But then, Skate came along, and I remember buying both games at the same time. In the beginning, I was playing more Proving Ground, to be honest. but
Okay.
then Skate kind of took over, and I think I've been more on like the sim side of skate games ever since.
Absolutely. Well, yeah, that's what happened with me, XL and Session. It started a lot of XL, especially when multiplayer came out. And then Session happened, and it was just like, I don't know, even just adding pedestrians, something as simple as that, making it feel more full, and then going through the struggle of figuring it out, and then finally being like, oh, it's not broken, it's me. I got definitely a lot of joy out of that. But I mean, starting back from like Skate 1, Skate 2, I wasn't huge on Skate 3, but Skate 1 and 2, just the city. I mean, it's one thing that you talk about too, is Skate 2.
I mean, what skateboarding games beat that city? I don't know if there are any.
Right? It's
I
amazing.
think Session has some of the ideas, but it's just way smaller maps. But just the fact that you can like go into some weird back alley, and there'll be something weird to skate. I mean, there'll be a way for you to get the game to actually work for whatever thing you found. I think that's what I like about Session now. It kind of brings that back a little bit for me.
Yeah, it definitely makes you get creative with some spots, because you might think there's nothing there, and then when you actually look at it for a little bit, you're like, oh wow, there's a lot going on here. One of the things, I think some places are a little too tight and too cluttered for the mechanics that it relies on. It's tight. It's a tight game. It's tight controls. You need some room. And I think that's one of the things that I really appreciate about skate, is the amount of room that you get, but it doesn't feel empty at the same time. Like Skate 2 anyway did, and Skate 3 was, but Skate 2 did not feel empty.
Yeah, Skate 3, and I would also say Skate 1 at times had kind of empty areas, but Skate 2, they got it back. They remade some of the spots, and it was just beautiful.
So you love these games enough to start streaming, and what made you go like completely like, you're gonna do this, because you did, man, and you can tell that you were doing this?
Well, I was trying to grow my channel as like an IRL channel for a lot of years. I was looking up to people like Andy Schrock. I still do. I still enjoy Andy's videos from time to time.
Yeah.
But I was just struggling, like getting 500 views on a video. And it would be me out trying a really hard trick for hours. And in the end, it just didn't feel like the effort was worth it. And then I found out that my friend talked about that you could actually stream your Xbox One gameplay to a PC and then record that way. Okay. I had always wanted to like make a gaming video of me just playing Skate 3 the way I would play Skate 3. And I remember posting that first video, and it just got, I think, 12,000 views in like a day. And I had so much fun like making that gaming video. It was kind of what I had dreamed about without knowing, kind of.
Yeah.
So I really just, I kind of relaxed a bit with the real life stuff and focused more on the gaming stuff. And I remember I had like a very small but passionate number of people who enjoyed my real life footage, and they were like, man, stop these gaming videos. But I would just be I was getting so many new people in that were like enjoying. I think it was mostly Skate 3 I did back then, but also a bit of Proving Ground. But it was just, that was like the shift for me. That was when I started really like becoming a gaming content creator, I guess you could call it.
Yeah, no, I get that shift. I started shifting my content to heavier skate stuff when I started doing fingerboarding stuff, and it was night and day versus my video game stuff. Nobody cared about my video game stuff, but my fingerboard stuff did pretty well, and it just snowballed from there. You can't help but get involved, especially in this community that's so big and welcoming and creative. The stuff that's, a couple of weeks ago we had that Dan Vato on, and the awesome mods that guy's putting out, the time that he's putting in, it's insane, the amount of talent that it takes. And I think the coolest thing that I'm appreciating from the community so far is the parallels of what they do in their personal life and what they do in game. They're doing the same thing. It's so weird. You think that
Yeah.
we would like do something completely opposite, but we kind of lean into the things that we're really good and familiar with, and it kind of pays off in dividends because like who the hell doesn't enjoy the physics clothing mod? Right?
Yeah, true. I mean, big shout out to that Dan Vado. What a legend.
Yeah, man. He's a pretty cool cat. I'm excited for people to see that one. When we're talking now, it's not out yet, but by now it is. Your transition from live streaming to NS and chill. You started like you were really live heavy streaming at first, and then it just kind of went to, and which I mean, I have a full-time job. I can't watch you for 3 hours. So I do appreciate the 15 to 25 minute videos because it's kind of one of the first things I do when I get home. I like put on some stuff and you know, start playing with my son and put your video on and a couple others. I really enjoy it because it's like this nice tight package. And what made you decide to lean that way other than life?
Well, first of all, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate that. I always kind of wanted to try live streaming, and I guess I went kind of heavy in a period, but it was never really for me, to be honest. Just the whole live aspect and me talking in a foreign language, that can be kind of scary, and
Sure.
and sometimes just, you know, the anxiety won't let me start the live stream. So a lot of people had actually said that they'd rather want like longer unedited videos because it would kind of feel like a live stream, but at the same time I wouldn't be like every 10 seconds, oh thank you so much, oh yeah, thank you, and then talking to the chat. So it would be more gameplay focused, and
Yeah.
I think that's what a lot of people liked about that. It's kind of a lazy thing for me to do, if I'm honest, because I am just like, this is how I would be doing if I wasn't filming. Like, this is just me playing the game. But I guess that's what a lot of people can relate to and what they found cool about it. So that's pretty much why I'm keeping on doing that.
I mean, you say lazy, but holy cow, the amount of work that's involved in editing, that's making sure it's not broken after you process it, because just sometimes computers just want to do computer things. Right? And it's not lazy work. It's a lot. Like even this podcast, I don't edit it, but I add videos with picture in picture. And so that's, you know, with work, with, you know, babies, cooking and things like that, and just being home, like it's a lot of work. It's definitely a lot of work. And you know, it's not like a million people are doing it. You're doing it, and it's because it's work. If it was lazy, everybody would be doing it, and they're not. And I appreciate that they're not, because it gets to filter out like the really good content that's available and stuff that people can enjoy on a level that, I don't know, man. You call it your tricks, which is nice. You always showcasing new maps, different spots, trying different things. You're not just showing the success story, you're showing the failures that lead up to it, but you're not dragging it on either. You know, it's really, you do put a lot of thought into it. And I think it's, you know, the numbers speak for itself, and you have an audience because you're really good at what you do. So I just want to say thank you on behalf of everybody for that, because how many videos do you have?
I mean, thank you so much for the kind words. But yeah, how many videos?
Dude, you just showered us with like, I could just watch you for a year and a half and just go on loop every year and a half. You have a lot of freaking content.
I think I'm close to 1,400 videos.
Oh, cheers to that.
Cheers, man.
Wow, man. That is amazing. Well, tell us about your creative process a little bit, because just before we went live, you said you found a new way to put some videos together. But what even inspires you? What gets you going? Hey, I'm going to make this video about, like the one that you recently did where you skate the skate shop. That was awesome, dude. Would have never thought to skate the skate shop.
But that's what's so weird with like my main channel, the gaming videos. I have pretty much unlimited ideas for that one. Like I have a little notebook over here, and I have like 40 ideas I haven't even gotten to yet, and sometimes I don't even get to them, and I get new ones. And
Wow.
like I bought Tony Hawk Ride,
Yeah.
the game with the controller. I bought that like half a year ago, but I still haven't gotten to making that video yet because I get so caught up in like, yeah, there's a mini ramp in the skate shop in Session. Can you skate the rest of it? Yeah. And then I found, after I bought another webcam. Right now we're on my old one, but I also have a new one that's like more head on. I got like a new setup in OBS. The way I film, I have like 5 or 6 scenes that I can change between with hotkeys, where I used to just like film my webcam and then also my gameplay and then edit it on top of each other. And I'd been editing for a very long time, so in the end that just got very boring, and I feel like there had to be some sort of change in my editing process. So that just made it way more fun for me, because then what I'm editing is kind of changing, because that's what I did when I recorded it.
Yeah.
So I refound my love for making videos that way. And yeah, just to be honest, like this channel, it's just always going with my ideas. Like I can't stop it. But when it comes to my Nightspeed skateboarding channel, the real life stuff,
Yeah.
I can hit a slum. And the same thing for my Danish channel, where it's basically like everything I make videos about. I haven't uploaded on those channels for a little bit, but like this channel, it's just I gotta choose like what I want to film next, because I can't stop it. I have so many ideas when it comes to gaming videos. I love it so much, and the fact that I get paid to do it and people are watching and liking and stuff, it's still unreal to me. When I have bad days, I really just tell myself like, dude, come on, you're playing skateboarding video games, you're working at a skate park, it ain't that bad.
Yeah, no kidding, man. So hey, sometimes you win. And that is all right, because people need to win, and I'm glad you're winning right now. It's again, we live vicariously through each other, right? Not everybody, like not everybody has internet connection. You know what I mean? It's crazy. So we definitely live vicariously through one another. And like I take a lot of joy in when you are like, yeah, I'm going on vacation. I'm like, these are going to be wicked videos because I get to see like different parts of the world that I'm not going to get to within the next little bit. And it's not just going to be like sightseeing. It's going to be like you with people having fun, doing stuff we like to watch. So it's definitely like, it's so worth it. It's so worth like you doing, because so many people appreciate it. And we get like an extra couple hours in our day of smiles on our faces because of it. Right. It's, Toasty disappeared. Like, Toasty, and I understand it's really tragic what happened. And so he definitely needs time, and he's doing his thing. But holy crap, he's a barrel of sunshine too, that guy. He's just always so positive, and so, he reinvigorated my love for Skate 3. Like, I was pretty much done with Skate 3, and then when I saw his videos, it was like, all right, let's get creative. Let's do some of this stuff. It's a lot of fun. So yeah, it's again, it's awesome that your problem is you have too many ideas. Because that is amazing. I want to talk about pick your brain.
I think it was funny that you mentioned Toasty. Can I bring that back?
Absolutely, of course.
Because I remember when I discovered Toasty, he was posting daily videos and doing daily live streams.
Oh, wow.
And I had so much respect for that, because I don't even think he was monetized yet. So he was just, doing that to get a bunch of videos in the system. I respected it so much. I enjoyed, his persona, how he was as a person, probably the way you also did.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, we got really close for a period, I would say. Like, we were playing games outside of YouTube. We were playing Skate 3, games of Skate against each other and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it just proves also how, like, even though, like, I don't think he had skated for a couple of years when he started his YouTube channel, but we still had that like skater connection that, you would have in real life if you met someone.
Of course.
And it just translated through our videos and through the way we played together. And yeah, that is just one of the beautiful things. I hope Toasty gets back to a more like scheduled upload schedule. That made no sense.
Regularly scheduled programming.
Yeah, but big love to Toasty. Like I'm on the player council of the next like skate game, and I actually don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but Toasty is also in there contributing. I don't think it's a secret, because Garrett and Sexy Sec and all those have talked about it. And I obviously have a skateboard there in the background.
Very exclusive skateboard.
And I think I have another one down here, like behind. What am I doing? Yeah. Okay, you can't see it. It's behind my Jamal board.
Oh shit! No, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. Shout out to Toasty, man. We love you.
Yeah. Definitely.
So you're getting a little session heavy in content, which totally makes sense at this point because 1.0 has launched. And disclaimer, the last 4 videos, 1.0 launched as well, but I had recorded way ahead in advance. So I retract half my statement. I'm loving it so much right now. I can't stop.
No, I feel the same way, and I mean I was expecting to do a couple of session videos and then like make another Skater XL video, make another EA Skate video of some sort, but there's so much you can like dive into in the gameplay with the stats, with the experimental tricks, with the new spots. It's just all the pro skaters, like there's a lot of, that's why all the content ideas are just going, so that's why I've been so heavy on session. But I think like in not so many videos I'll be doing like trying to play Skater XL after session again, and I kind of want both games to kind of coexist on my channel. Session for like the well, I mean there's mods now, but it's not as big part of it as Skater XL is, so definitely shine light on like the Skater XL modded part of Skater XL, and then also have session. But session is just as fun vanilla as it is with mods, I would say.
I mean, when it comes to console, it's kind of a no-brainer. XL on console feels like a plastic spoon floating in water. Like it's very light gravity. But mind you, it makes it enjoyable at first. It's not the hardest game to pick up. You can learn how to play quite quickly and easily. But then there comes that, you did a video on El Toro, and you have to do that input after you do a trick in order to land a big gap. Just something like that really disconnects itself from this Skater XL's feeling, I think that, sorry, go ahead.
Well, I just want to expand a bit on that, because I totally get like what you're saying with all this. I don't know why they wouldn't just make like some difficulties that would change up the gravity and pop height a little bit. But I guess what they were going for with the difficulty is that for like the average non-skater but still enjoy stuff like Street League, it would be not the toughest learning curve, and you could kind of have fun with the game for a little while, and you wouldn't know that like you were floating because you haven't tried it yourself. But for someone like us, we've tried popping a tray flip. Like I've practiced tray flips for 14 years. I can't do them that high. Mine are like super low and fast. But I can't really replicate that on the console version of Skater XL. So if you're a skater and you bought a console version of Skater XL, I think like there might be a learning curve, but when you hit that and you get good at the game, which is going to be surprisingly fast if you know all the physics of scooping and flipping, it's just going to get boring. So I just wish they added that tiny bit, like, some modders made in an hour for PC back in the day, that you could like change the gravity and stuff. I really wish they would have implemented that. I asked them many times, and I don't think it's happening.
It's one of the barest menus that exists in video games. It's comparable to a cell phone game menu. It's so bare. But when multiplayer becomes available for session the way it is for XL, I think that's probably when we'll see the biggest shift. And one of two things will happen. It's either going to force Skater XL to innovate and do something, or they're just going to be left by the wayside.
I'm afraid it's over for Skater XL. I think for me, it's, what I'm playing is Skater XL modded. That's what I'm playing on my channel. Yeah. I don't feel like it's Skater XL anymore, because we have so many amazing modders in the community that has taken the game to where I wish the developers would have taken it. Or maybe, the developers could have brought in some modders and maybe, all right, we'll pay you to add this feature or something. It would be such a nice, natural way for the game to expand, I think. And it was just a missed opportunity. That was a little bit in the beginning with Theo and I think Fleep was added to the team there, but I don't think it ever really took off the way it could have.
Yeah, I think when I was speaking to Roke, and he was like, modded XL and XL are just, they're two different games. They're two completely different games. Like you wouldn't even know you're playing the same game. And that being said, the community, the modding community, the mapping community, they'll keep XL alive, because of, where the game is at now. It's pretty much like the backbone of the entire community for XL is the mapping and modding community. And shouts out to you guys doing all the work out there, because it's a lot of work, man. And there's a lot of people enjoy, like, John Olive, that just took over social media. Everybody's videos was just John Olive for like,
yeah.
Right. And like, how can it not be though? How can it not be? It's like our favorite like memories of all the skate games in a map.
Yeah.
Right. It was like, you couldn't have a nicer marriage than that. And speaking of marriage, we're starting to see this. I'm so proud and happy for people right now, because they're busting their ass and they're starting to see a little bit of wheat cut from the chaff, where fake skate companies are starting to make real products. We got hoodies, people giving away sticker packs. I think I saw somebody doing a real grip tape, and it's like, this is really cool, right? And when we have, XL was sponsoring Tampa Pro with PS5 and all that stuff. So we're starting to see this crossover of fake skate and real skate influencing each other.
Man, that is so interesting. I mean, I have taken notice a little. Oh, I'm sorry, that's my phone there. Get in my suitcase. but yeah, I guess I've noticed
midnight on the
marriage. My friend Kelly has the brand Oak Street Locks. I guess they were like real hardcore EA skate players back in the day, like could really make Skate 2 and Skate 1 look super realistic, Skate 3 as well. And now he's doing some stuff for Skater XL, and he sent me a sticker pack. I've been putting some stickers on my board there, and that's technically fake skate stuff. So it is interesting that the way you say that even if you're like a huge Skater XL fan and you just skate a little bit in real life, if you were rocking like a fake skate shirt, that would be sick.
And people would recognize it. You know what I mean? Like it's absolutely, like we had Steve's Energy podcast, and he made commercials for Tampa Pro. He has actual merch now on his Instagram. And I was like, you could be the first, like, instead of Red Bull, it could be Fake Bull. Real skaters like drinking Fake Bull. Like, that would be hilarious. But yeah, I think it's only a matter of time, to be honest with you, because if somebody puts so much effort into something like Zava trucks, and then somebody makes a set of Zava trucks, why go buy a real brand when you can support your buddy now, right? It's a whole new level.
Yeah, and I think that might be where the fake skate brands can reach, like, really like maybe a smaller but passionate fan base. I think, that's the best thing you can aim for, because they're going to support it no matter what.
Yeah, I say the first person to put out fake skate shoes like real fake skate shoes. People like, as long as they're skate shoes, it'll do. I'll buy them.
Yeah, that would be insane.
I'll buy them. So let's talk about some of your favorite maps and the correlation between the real spots. Because I mean, like I'm definitely somebody who, like, if I experience something in real life, like I want to do it digitally. So what are some of your favorite maps, and how well do they replicate the real life spots that you have visited?
Oh man, I think I've skated some really good Markbas. I think Boris made a Markba. I think he had it actually both Ported to Session and Skater Excel.
Okay.
And the hotel I used to stay at a lot in Barcelona was like right next to Markbas. So I would go there every morning before there was like 300 skaters. Because then it's just not fun to skate there. But the flat ground is so good, and he did an amazing job. I even think he had a friend out like measuring the distances and heights of ledges and stuff. So that's one of the maps I think that impressed me the most. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff native in the games as well. You know, Session relies heavily on this with their maps for New York with the Brooklyn banks and
Yes.
and the new San Francisco map. I think that one is amazing. Like having EMB, the hub hideout.
It's my favorite map.
Yeah, it is so good. Like Pier 7. I agree. It's probably also my favorite one.
It's definitely my favorite map. What kind of features or things do you want to see in future maps or even mods? Because I mean, you're the one doing the content, so it only makes sense that you let us know what you want to see, because maybe somebody's just going to get on it.
Yeah, I mean, we did have this Session story mode mod a while ago. Amazing, because there were like cutscenes and some places were locked off until you like unlock that area. I what I don't like about the Session story, I do love it. I love what like the challenges are, and you know it relates to the pro given the challenge. But I would love some more than just, you know, a little figure popping up and then the text going there.
Yeah.
And then, you know, there are some tricks and some experimental features they need to work on. But if we could have pedestrians in our replays and maybe have, you know, filmers in the objects menu so we could place them as well, I think that would add a lot to like both the realistic players, and also, you know, there could be some new funny things in there for the more casual gamers as well, I think.
Yeah, for sure. I wish we could have like a crowd of like your friends.
Yeah.
You sit there and if you bail, there's just like covering their face, like, ooh, but when you make it, they're all like, ah, and they rush you. That would be awesome.
That would be fun. I mean, maybe you could kind of, if you know your session save is connected to Steam, and you know your friend has a session playthrough or something, that you could grab that character. I don't know. I mean, I think that's a really awesome idea, actually.
Yeah, just for the like the things that we see in skate videos, I think would complete what and just like it would be awesome if just like a random security guard showed up, but you can just like press the button to just like make him not, you know, headbutt you while you're trying to do your trick.
Yeah.
I don't know, just little things like that. I just find the immersion part of it is really like is what's setting apart one game from the other. And you know, just like you, I'm thankful there's a story mode.
Yeah.
I wish it wasn't broken. Like when they're like, hey, you need more steez. Come back when you skate around with some guys. And then it just keeps the icon on him and doesn't allow you to just choose another thing. Like I didn't even know there was a freaking menu to choose from. I thought it was just stuck there. And then I rebooted the entire thing, started all over again, got to the same spot. And then my wife was like, maybe you just need more steez.
But what does it mean?
Yeah, no.
Oh man, no, I was through that as well. It was such a joy when you find out that like you can untrack a mission, and then you can go talk to someone, but then it might not track that mission, so you'd have to go in, find that mission, track that, complete the mission, and then all of a sudden it tracks like the first mission again, where he's like, no, man, you need more stees.
Yeah.
There's some stuff they need to look into there. That's for sure.
For sure, man. As a content creator, what's your most valuable piece of equipment?
Oh man, I don't know if I could say my PC as a whole, but I mean that would probably be it. I could always, like, if I didn't have my webcams, I could just do it with a mic or something. But
Yeah.
I've never really been like a PC dude. I made most of my first videos playing Xbox One, some Xbox 360. Had to buy like a capture card and stuff.
Yeah.
But in the end, I kind of I think that was actually with my cooperation with Session back when that first started. They sent me like the very first build, and I was playing it on my laptop. And I could play it just fine, but once I started the screen recording, like it just started lagging. So at that point, I found out, like, man, I'm gonna need like a desktop with like proper stuff. I have no idea what actually needs. Yeah. No, but I mean, it was fine. Like I started a company, a one-man company here. So, the stuff I buy for my company, I can kind of deduct some places, and
That's
yeah,
cool.
so it was fine.
Yeah, I mean, it's still an upfront cost. Like I'm using my wife's laptop because mine kicked the bucket, and
Yeah.
we have babies now, so it's like we're gonna share. So that's what happens, right? If somebody wants to get into making content, and you can save them a little bit of time and money, what kind of advice would you give them, what they absolutely need to start up?
Oh man, I would say that in the beginning, don't really think about the quality of your videos. If you can make like 720p, that's fine. You don't have to go 1080 or 4K or like strain on your computer that way. It like if it's just a recording of some gameplay and you talking over it, just make it enjoyable, make it something that you would want to watch. I think that's the most important part. Like I have some of the kids come up to me at the skate park, and then they're like, "Hey man, would you just review my video before I post it on YouTube?" And I'll check it out, and I'm like, "Did you have to talk about that for like 1 minute, or could you maybe cut that into places and make the video more like, I don't know, like
Forward moving?"
Yeah, some tiny things like that. But I think that's the most important part. And if you'd really wanna think about growing, it's maybe think about, like, what people see the first is the thumbnail and the video title. So even before like making a video, think like what would pull people in, and then kind of make a script from that.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I'm still figuring this stuff out. I've been making videos for I think a scary amount of time. Like I think I made my YouTube channel in 2007 or something.
Wow,
So
kudos
yeah,
to you, man.
it's been a journey, man.
That is some work. That is some work, man. Well, is there anything that you would like to say to the community before we close off? The floor is yours.
I would just, like I talked about a bit in this podcast here, it's just how appreciative I am of things. Like we all have bad days, and me too, but I can always kind of pull myself back up by just, I have a job at a skate park, teaching kids. I have the keys to a skate park. I do YouTube videos for a living. I've been saying this for a while, but like YouTube, with all the competitors of TikTok and stuff, like we just gotta enjoy, like that I'm able to do it right now. Who knows what happens in like 3 years? So I'm just really appreciative of everyone out there who is making this possible for me. And yeah, I'm gonna use that as inspiration, and put out as many videos as I can to kind of take away from the distractions of the world right now.
Dude, you're as awesome as you are humble. I just want to say thank you so much for your time, man. It's the most
No problem.
It's the most valuable thing that we have, and it's definitely our biggest voting tool, is our time. So I just want to say thank you so much for spending the time with me, for spending time with the community, and us getting to know you a little bit better, and just honestly just falling more and more in love with your videos and what you do and what you're bringing for us. And we can only get excited because it's way more than we can ask for. I couldn't even imagine this era that every day I get to turn my TV on and just fucking candy for me to consume. You know what I mean? It's really nice, man. So thank you so much.
Thank you, man. I really want to post daily, but sometimes, there's a break like there was yesterday. I don't think I posted there, but some days